Hi beautiful people, my name is Blessing and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how I achieved this beautiful soft glam look from start to finish. So let's get right into it. So sorry, in case you do not know, I have already cleansed our face with the Blossom micellar water. So the next was going with my badesco spray just to hydrate and prepare our skin. Now to further nourish our skin, I applied the Blossom moisturiser. This is a very important step. We all know it prevents the makeup from looking too dry. I am going to be applying the Blossom lip oil. This is just to nourish our lips and prevent dry lips, Next is the Mismetics aqua grip. This primer is an hydrating primer. It just grips everything you apply on our face. So this step is very important. So you can see I'm applying it all over our face and I'm not putting it under our eyes. So if you're using the aqua grip primer, avoid using it under our eyes. The next was the Tilbury setting spray, just to lock in my skin prep. Moving on to foundation, I used the Sylvermak foundation and the L.A Girl illuminating foundation. So I used the lighter foundation first, which was the Sylvermak on the shade butternut. Then I went with the L.A Girl dark chocolates to just blend everything. If you notice, our chest is more lighter than our face, so we need to blend everything to have this even complexion. So this is what I actually did. So you can see how the whole face has come together beautifully well. So for our cream contour, I will be using the Blossom lip palette. It has a very dark shade. There's a particular dark shade that is so nice for a dark skin. So that's what I'm using to warm up our face. Now you want to make sure that you contour the cheekbones and our forehead, which I just did. The next is using the blush. So I'm using it on the high point of our cheekbones and even just apply a little on our nose so you can see how it is. So you want to blend the blush into your contour, as you can see right in the video. Look at how beautiful it is. Now for highlighting, I will be using the Yanga Beauty Concealer on the shade SM3 or 4, but I'm going to be writing the names of product down in my description box. So to highlight her face, I am going to start with the jaw, then the nose and the forehead before I go to our under eyes. Now when you are highlighting your under eyes, you want to make sure that you are tapping gradually. You don't want to put too much pressure on that eyes because that place is very delicate. So yeah, you can see how I am setting our under eyes. You can see the results after blending and highlighting our under eyes and our forehead. So yeah, the next thing is to snatch our nose. Whatever you are doing on your makeup, make sure you snatch your nose. So I am using the same shade I used to contour our forehead and our cheekbone. That is the same shade I am using on our nose. Now to further highlight our under eyes, I want to really have a brightening under eyes. I went with using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. You can see how I'm just tapping lightly. The next thing is to apply the setting powder immediately to avoid creasing. So you want to do it gently. You can use the brush and the V-puff. For me on today's video, I used the brush and also went with the V-puff. So watch how I did it. So you just want to tap, 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 tap. That is it. You are not doing too much. Disabuse yourself from using too much product on the face. It is better for you to keep building than putting a lot and struggling to now blend. So you can see now that I'm using the V-puff to just tap, 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 tap everything into our skin to have this smooth finish. So every places that I highlighted is where I'm going to set. For a powder application, I am using the V Beauty powder palette, for our face. This powder palette, I would recommend it to anyone. It's very good, and you can use it. Has different types of shades there on the palette. So yeah, so when you're applying your powder, you want to tap tap tap. You are not dragging, just tap 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 in the necessary place. So you are going to be applying this powder everywhere except your under eyes. Now if you notice, I am working with the hairstylist because we are running out of time. I took a darker shade to contour our cheekbones and our forehead from the same V Beauty powder palette. Now the hairstylist has removed the band from our forehead. I decided to blend it and then apply our powder. Like I applied the contour powder on our forehead. For my blush application, I will be going with the Annie's Beauty blush on Cheek Orgasm Volume 1 to apply on her cheekbones. So you can see how this blush color is giving her a youthful look. So to set her face, I am using the Mismetics Sealowatt setting spray to set her face. The next is using the Dammel brow tamer to tame her brows. You want to make sure that the brows are laid well. So we are going to leave that brows to get dry. For the eyes application, I'll be using the Annie's Beauty Meets the Brown. But first, I will have to prime our eyes. So I'm going with the Benign Eye Base Primer. I'm baking our under eyes with the Sylvermak setting powder in case of any fallout from the eyeshadow to help me catch everything and prevent it from staining the makeup. So I am using the Annie's Beauty Meets the Brown eyeshadow for a transition color and adding more depth to her eyes. So just watch how I blend everything together. So for the starting point of our eyelid and our middle lid, I am going to be using the Annie's Beauty bridal palette. It has this shades of nude, so that is what I'm going to be using for for her middle lid. And you can see how it's just so smooth. So I will be going with the Tehilla eyeliner. You can see I did a first eye out of camera. So I'll be showing you how I did this lifted eyelining look. So yes, so I am using the Tehilla to apply under eyes. Please, when you're applying your under eyes, be careful. Or when you're applying an eyeliner on a client's eyes, you need to be very careful. So I haven't done that. I had to do her under eyes, then our upper part of her eyelid, just to give her a lift. You can see how I am doing it. Then a waterline, and you're good to go. So I'm trying to do like a reverse eyelining way, just to give this sharp way, but I'm not going to bring it out so much. So just watch how I do it. Moving on to the brows, I will be using this David's pencil on the shade 03. So what you want to do is just line our under brows and our upper brows, connect them together, and that's how you get the good brows. So to add more depth to our eyebrows, I had to go with the Eversheen pencil on black to add more depth to our eyebrows. So you can see how thick it is now. So yes, so to highlight our brows, I am using the Yanga Beauty concealer to highlight our brows. So when I'm done with highlighting the brows, make sure that you blend your eyeshadow with your with what you've done, because you don't want to have a demarcation or any harsh line. So you can see what I'm doing. I am blending everything together so that it comes out flawlessly. And yes, that's how we get a good eyebrow. So I wanted to add more depth to her eyes, like to give more eye lift. So I'm using a damp puff with a powder. I just took the puff, touch it on the powder, and just lift the eyes. So I'm adding more depth to her blush as well, and I'm using the puff to just tap the baked powder under her cheek, just to give this even look, because you don't want to leave it like that. Now for her lip, I am going to be lining with the Omariocode lip pencil. I really can't remember the shade, but it's going to be in my description below. So just check the description and you will see every product I use for this glam. Next, I use the Sopro lip stain on the shade Osho. I don't know if I pronounced it well. Yeah, but I'm using it to just blend everything. I just needed to do a very soft lip. I don't want to do too much today, so I am doing something very, very nude. So, and then for middle lips, I am using the Sopro lip stain on Shalewa, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I'm going to be writing every product in my description box. To gloss our lips, I am using the Sopro lip gloss in the shade Vein. I love and love this lip gloss, so nice. The next, I am using the Mismetics Chee glaze to just add glow on her forehead. And to set her face, I am using the One Size setting spray to just set everything. Now to lock in all my work, I went to using the Sylvermak's fixing spray. Then lastly, I used the Zaron mascara to lengthen her under eyes, and this is the final look. And voila, look at how beautiful and gorgeous she's looking. So yeah, this is the final look, a soft glam look that is beautiful for any occasions. Yeah, I said it. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.